to another edition of Coach's Weekly. My name is Alan Mateo, and once again, I'm joined by Hez men's volleyball coach, Coach Greg Manos. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and you guys are coming off another trip up now to Michigan, where you guys were able to play Calvin and Adrian in a 2-game set, and it went really well for you guys. You guys were able to come out, pull out 2 wins, and these are 2 teams that you played last year as well. You lost to Calvin last year, and you were able to come back and beat them this year. And then you guys also played a really thrilling game last year against Adrian. And we'll kind of come out and be able to win again this year. I want to start off with the Calvin game, though. And just knowing that with last season, how that game kind of presented some challenges. You guys are now on the road now, going up, driving multiple hours to get up to Michigan. And you're in a hostile environment, decent crowd. And you guys were pretty much able to kind of run away with the game from what it looked like, at least with the box score. Just kind of talk to me what you saw throughout that game, what kind of worked, and the adjustment that you saw compared from last year to this year.
Yeah, it was really neat to see, as you mentioned, just between all the other outside factors, whether it's traveling, other implications. We had illnesses, like all these little things that can add up. It didn't impact our team on the court, and that's what we were happy to see, that we made a couple quick fixes here and there throughout the match. But the guys have gotten a lot better about being consistent in their game, their approach to game day in terms of their routine and execution, and then just being able to follow through, right? Again, like you said, these are teams that in the past have either challenged us or been successful against us. So to see that marker relative to that level of competition, shows that we're moving in the right direction in a positive way. And to do that across 2 days, long days of travel, right? It's not that it was anything too drastic, right? But it was also just uncomfortable in the sense that it wasn't convenient, it wasn't home, we didn't have our home dynamic and fan base, where we did have a good following of people who drove out, which we appreciated. But we're very happy to see the team start to mature, right? We knew that they have it in them, and we have seniority, but we also have a core grouping that's really young, and to see them start to just grow, develop, find their role or find their fit, within the team, they were adaptable, right? We had to change some things, again, like we said, but they took it, they ran with it, and they were able to find success. So I think that ability to just find those clutch moments, push through, and do that against teams that were, solid competition levels, it's encouraging for where we're at and where we're heading.
Yeah, of course, and I want to dive a little bit more specifically into the offensive side. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed that the Adrian game up to this point has been your guys' best game offensively. That first set, you guys were ridiculous, 41% hit percentage, and 299 throughout the entirety of the game. It just seemed like it just really clicked for you guys offensively that game. Just what kind of is the comfortability that you guys are feeling right now on the court just throughout these first 5 games in terms of your rhythm and getting into your spots, being able to get to your sets, the communication? It just seems like the mistakes are really being limited now with you guys. And so just not only how proud are you to see that accomplished early on this season, because in comparison to last year, you guys started off 1-4, and now you guys are 3-2. But to be able to see that just early on before you even get into conference play.
Kudos to our coaching staff and team members who are able to put together scouting reports that were effective. Right, you mentioned the success we had in the first set of both matches, even, and that's a big plus as far as our preparation process, our focus and attention to detail across the program. Right, we like to run things new school, right? We want to make sure we're adapting, that we're changing, that we're not just doing things better, faster, stronger. Like, we want to be efficient. So the first side of that is, how do we either expose other teams' weaknesses or just making sure we're attacking specific parts along the net. And we saw that they were able to do that from the start in both matches, which is encouraging. But you also mentioned that efficiency metric, right? It is a game of errors in some sense or perspectives, and being able to pull back on those silly mistakes. When you're able to do both at the same time, it's really encouraging, because you can't say both when you're in the huddle, right? You can't say, be more aggressive, but less, you got to make sure you're finding that middle ground. So the challenge now for us is, okay, the first sets have gone really well now for these last 2 weeks, realistically. How do we make the second set better when the other team makes that secondary switch or change, right? And at the same time, then we've been able to find success in the other sets, but that's going to be our next focus area across our development and group mentality. So we're doing it, we're finding it. Again, that growth and maturity is a big part of it, but we just got to make sure we can consistently hold that, because when we get challenged by other teams in different ways, we need to be able to be consistent, stable, and make sure we're holding on those success metrics in whatever form or fashion they might be.
Yeah, of course. And you touched on a bit of maturity and the young core, right? And obviously, you have your veterans, Eli Mosher, Tyler Holloway, Van Gato, right? The staples of the program for the past few years. Another guy I really want to touch on, though, who has seemed to take that next step offensively has been Jackson Stella. And last year, he was one of your main contributors, right? He was in the mix pretty much every game that you guys had last season. But this year, I mean, he's leading the team pretty much offensively in most categories. And so what kind of growth have you seen from him, with you have all these seniors, right? But, he's next in line after this year. Just the kind of growth and maturity you've seen from him specifically and how he's been able to have this early success early on.
Yeah, JR has come a long way, and we've asked him to change just about everything in his game since he got here, right? He was a middle in high school. He came here, played some middle, and we asked him to play middle differently as far as his offensive approach, just because he's a scorer at the end of the day, right? We started to have him play opposite, and now he's playing outside, and the fact that he's able to play, whether it's receiving or playing sixth row, he's expanded his skill set in the off seasons, and he's put a lot of work into it. So whether it's his summer training, his fall routines here at Concordia, in the weight room, right? He's a prime example of a guy who from the high school level filled his role with his team and club dynamic, but got here and was able to really expand and open the book just because of his work and dedication. So we're really proud of him, and it's encouraging to see that he's someone who we need to have in the front row right away. Right? He's able to score in a variety of ways. He brings power. He brings strength on the defensive side, and we're just happy to see his progression. So it's not just him, though. It's other guys on the team and in the program who we're seeing that even their freshman year are able to blossom when they have that college dynamic with more training, more time, whether it's something simple like more space from the service line, right? We're able to take those dynamic athletes or players in the high school realm, bring them in here, and they're showing that growth. And I think he's a prime example of guys who have gone through that process and made successful metrics, and we're excited to see where he continues. But at the same time, it's knowing from a high school recruiting perspective, we want guys who can do some things really well because we know we can build around their skill set,
right,
and prove them full circle so that when they get to that next level by whether it's their freshman year or even into their junior, senior year, that development is really showing. And I think that's what's making this year so much fun as we're seeing that growth out of the entire team as a whole.
No, yeah, of course, and that's been awesome to watch. And that's a compliment to you guys, your development, just care to just being able to get these guys in from a high school level and be able to bring them up and, showing evident now, right? And that's the fun part.
Yeah.
So as you guys go into this weekend, you guys play another two teams from the NCBL. You guys play Mount Union and Wabash College. And you guys keep on with this strong non-conference slate. Mount Union is 5-3 going on right now at this point this year. Wabash has not played that many games right now, but they've had two over 500 seasons the past 2 years. And so it's going to be another really strong challenge for you guys, right? And so Mount Union has a lot of really good length, also does Wabash. So, the way it matches up for you guys is going to be pretty nice. And I'm not really going to ask you just about what you think about the matchups or the game plan, because I would assume that you already have a decent idea of where you want to go into it. But the fact that you guys had to play 2 games in one day, this is the first time this season, I believe, and it's separated, it's not back-to-back.
Right.
So you have that little break in between. Just what's going to be the number one emphasis to the guys in terms of not only going out and obviously competing, trying to go win 2 games, but just keeping the focus throughout that?
Yeah, we had mentioned it on the road, and it's a necessity on the road, but it's going to be the same theme here. Saturday is a business trip, right? We're at home, but we need to make sure we're taking care of things. So internally, it gives us that opportunity to have that luxury to be able to sleep in that extra hour or get our food preparation on campus because they do such a good job here. But like you mentioned, we're playing quality opponents, right? These are teams that are very successful in multiple ways. So we need to make sure we're setting ourselves up for success. So whether it's practice this week, whether it's how we feed ourselves, how we rest, how we just approach everything that's off the court, it makes a big implication on the court. And if we want to be continuously successful against teams who are there and that's the standard, we need to make sure that that is steady. And again, that growth and maturity is part of it, and I think we're seeing it in terms of our approach, our ability to focus on small details and execute it when we get to the live gameplay. But again, this weekend is a business trip, and it's a quality test for us to recognize we need to be winning, or if we're not winning, we need to recognize, rebound, and be able to shape ourselves, because conference play is just around the corner here, and the conference is in a strong position. So we're just using this as an opportunity to get as best a look as we can looking ahead.
Yeah, of course, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch you guys this weekend compete. And you can find more coverage on that on CUCruise.com. Our men's volleyball team plays on Saturday and here in Geisman at 12 p.m. against Mount Union and Wabash College at 4. Once again, my name is Al Mateo, joined by Coach Greg Manos. And as always,
What's going on, Cougar Nation? Welcome to CUC Sports Network. Today we got ourselves a good one. We got Concordia Chicago Cougars taking on the Purple Raiders of Mount Union in this NAC MCVL crossover matchup. A couple strong starts to both seasons respectively, as the Mount Union Purple Raiders off to a hot start on their season, 6-4 on that one-game losing streak. Taking a look at the Cougars, they on the other hand 3-2, few less games played, but they're riding a 3-game win streak. Accompanying me today on the call, we got Elliot Higgins on color. How's it going, Elliot?
Good. Just ready to watch some good volleyball.
Yes, sir. So we'll see what they got going on right now. Starters for CUC are going to feature Tyrese Armstrong, Alex Ford, Tyler Hollebeck, Eli Mosher, Van Gato, Jackson Stella, and Leon Godzowski. Taking a look at those Purple Raiders, for them it's going to be Sam Morrison, Peyton Kasalik, Michael Bowler, Ryan Lippert, Justin Dixon, Justin Peters, Owen Geisman, and Beckham Heller. Officials making sure they got everything set up, ready to go before we start this match. Mount Union has played a little bit of a NAC schedule in there to fill out that non-conference slate, going 1-2 so far, with most recently a 3-0 loss to Aurora. Also had a 3-0 win against St. Norbert back in January, and then another 3-0 loss to MSOE in mid-January. Armstrong will set things up, get it going. Hollebeck saves it over to Mosher. Swing from Stella. Good swing, but it's saved. Beautiful touch right there from Lippert. Let's give the Purple Raiders their first point of the day. It'll be Morrison get things going here. Gato to Mosher. Good swing by Ford, nobody home, and that's a free point right there for CUC. Now Ford will retreat to that service line. Just a nice little ace right there for Ford. Another spot where just nobody home.
CUC seem to be bringing the energy early. Their bench is live right now, and looks like they're really riding the wave.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of having a little bit deeper bench than years past. CUC picks up another one right there, winning at the net. Yeah, CUC kind of having that little bit deeper bench than years past. Obviously, relatively fresh program, only been around for 6 or 7 years, but that one's just outside that back line. CUC really finding their feet right now, their footing, as they keep going as these years keep coming. They returned a lot of talent, a lot of firepower on both sides. That's what's been helping them this year so far in that 3-game win streak. Stella goes for a tip, not able to get it. Swing right there by Geisman. Just feeding right into the blockers, and he'll take that one. Dixon. Hollebeck to Mosher. Godzowski goes for a little slide. Just a little too much juice right there for Geisman. Now CUC's setter will look to send it over. Beautiful swing right there for Bowler. Hollebeck. A little too much juice right there. Parker Hansen will be Purple Raiders server right here. Into the net. Now J.R. Stella. J.R. Stella's had a strong season so far, Elliot. What have you seen so far out of J.R. Stella that's kind of been helping the Cougars so much this year?
Yeah, you know, he brings the veteran presence to the team. Currently leads the team in kills. He really is just the spark plug for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just such a huge ball of emotion as well. When he's hot, I mean, he brings so much to the arena for them. Makes a big difference in those big-time moments.
Most definitely.
Mosher sets up Armstrong. Big swing from Armstrong. Cardenas picks that one up. Mosher over to Armstrong. Good touch right there by Hansen. Mosher again. Gato will have to set up Hollaback. Good kill right there for Hollaback. Just looked like Geisman got caught a little bit flat-footed on that one, not able to get low enough there. Hollaback will take the kill. First kill of the day for Hollaback. Now it'll be Gudzowski. Difficult set right there. Kasalek trying to do just a little too much right there. Libero trying to get a little, put it right on the net right there, but unable to get it. Morrison. Hollaback picks that one back up. Mosher to set up Armstrong, who's just going to have to send a free ball over. Good tip attempt right there for Bowler. Mosher to Hollaback. Hollaback off the head top right there.
Yeah, the 1-2 punch of J.R. Stella and Hollaback is what the Cougars really look to go to get a lot of their offense. So look to see them continue to get a lot of attempts today.
Yeah, you're going to need both those guys on today if you want to have a solid, clean match. Morrison looked to be asking for a tip there, but unable to get one. Just a little too much juice there again. Gudzowski peppers the net right there. Purple Raiders will look to try and cut this lead in half. CUC up 9-7. It'll be Bowler. Gato puts that one up. Mosher over to Hollaback. Good swing right there by Hollaback. As Dixon and Morrison were unable to kind of get in that one.
Yeah, we've seen the Cougars get a good amount of swings so far here without much of a block up. So the Purple Raiders are probably going to look to try and get a block to most of these next few points.
Alex Ford trying to get just a little too cute there. Might have had it, though, if he got it over. Purple Raiders will get another sub. Lippert checking back in. Mosher setting up Armstrong. Good swing right there by Armstrong. Cougars holding a 3-point lead so far, but it looks like it should be a little bit more as they kind of are dominating right now at the net. Kind of any swing that they have going, there's not really much in their way so far. There's another service error for the Cougars. That'll make 6 on the set. Excuse me, that's 3, I apologize. Third service error for the Cougars so far. Good swing right there from Armstrong, so he picks right back up where he left off. A lot of juice from Ford right there. Just a tad bit out. The liberos will exchange. Dixon here for the Purple Raiders. Good swing by Stella off the WLC banner. Nobody able to run that one down.
Yeah, the Cougars, it feels like every swing they have, they're getting a point out of it. So I think they really just need to try and get the serve into get the serve into play, and then let their game do the talking.
Yes, there's another service there for the Cougars. Just on this kind of Saturday early afternoon, it really just seems like there's not a whole lot of energy so far amongst either squad. We kind of mentioned that's been one of the strong points for the Cougars so far this year when we had the chance to see those home games, but that one out of play. But yes, I mean, it's really just been like pretty slow pace so far today throughout these first 25 points. Not too much going on either side, just whatever happens, happens. We'll see who's able to kind of switch that momentum and tempo. So Armstrong just able to tap that one over. A little bit of a miss swing right there by Geisman. Hollowbeck goes for his own tip. Good pancake right there. Hollowbeck denied. And there's Geisman showing a little energy right there. Purple Raiders getting into it. Nobody able to get to that one. CUC will take back that 3-point lead. It'll be Gudzowski. Last time when he was at that back line, had a service error, one of the 5 service errors for the Cougars today. So that one's a good one, though. Free ball coming over. Mosher to Armstrong. Armstrong goes for the tip, but it's denied. Mosher sets up Hollowbeck. Nobody there. There's another kill for the Cougars.
Yeah, the Cougars are really spreading the wealth here today. We've seen multiple kills by right sides, outsides, and middles. So the Cougars are really looking to spread out the Purple Raiders defense.
Yeah, absolutely. There's another service there for the Cougars. Michael Bowler. He'll make his own service error. A lot of jitters so far, it seems like, on this Saturday afternoon. Just so far, 8 service errors amongst the 2 teams. That one's off the ceiling. Trying to just push it over, but they're going to tag Geisman with a double touch. CUC up 5 now, 18-13. Nice little touch right there. I believe it was Dixon on that one. He collects his first kill of the day. Peters sends that one into the net. And Stella will check back into that front row. Couple strong swings from Morrison. Here comes a third. Mosher pops that one up. Gato will set up Stella. Perfect platform right there by Kozelik. That one's denied by Alex Ford. Lippert trying to let it rip. Unable to do so with Alex Ford in there. Mount Union will take their first time out of the day. Coach Mihalik. Elliott, 20-14 right now. Cougar lead. What are you seeing so far in this first set? What does CUC got to keep doing to close things out?
Yeah, I mean, CUC just needs to continue, at least on the offensive half, to just kind of play how they have been. Just they're getting good swings off. I'm just looking for them to clean up the service errors a little bit. If you cut down on the service errors a little bit, this set might already be over. And same thing on the Purple Raiders side. If the Purple Raiders could cut down on the service errors, this might be a little bit of a closer set. So I think that's one thing that the both coaches are going to be harping on a little bit during this timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so easy to just kind of point out the mistakes that are being made right now, but for what I want to see a little bit more juice, a little bit more energy on both sides. We saw a tiny glimpse of it when Geisman had a big play, but other than that, it's kind of just been a lot of flow to it, not a lot of over-the-top energy. Everyone's staying pretty even kill throughout the whole time. So I'm okay with seeing a little bit more emotion, a little bit more excitement. That's one of the great things about volleyball. So
absolutely, I'd like to see one of the teams needs to try and look to grab the momentum. Right now it's kind of just a little bit back and forth. Need to look for those momentum swings and take advantage of them when you get them.
Absolutely. Both teams come out of the timeout. As mentioned, CUC with that 20-14 lead. It's going to be Armstrong for the Cougars, sending it away. That one slides out of play. Productive timeout right there for Mount Union. Sam Morrison ready to serve it off. Mosher setting up Stella. Kizalik unable to get to it. Now it'll be Alex Ford. Good swing right there by Lippert. Really rising to the occasion right there. Cuts it back down to 5.
A great recognition right there. He saw the block was cross and took it down the line and with a great kill.
Mosher trying to set up Kudzowski, but that one's denied as well. Bowler getting up in there. Kudzowski returns fire right there. So Kudzowski denied on his last swing, but not denied there. So you see 3 points away from securing that first set of the day. The Eli Mosher. Strong swing right there, but CUC able to keep it up. Stella puts that one right in there.
Got to make that play, Dave.
Yeah, that one came right towards us, unable to secure that one just out of the outstretched reach. It's Hanson trying to put some work together and put the Mount Union back into the contest. Mosher setting up Stella. They get Stella with a double touch right there. Coach Manos will want to take his first time out of the set for CUC. We're going to do the same. We're going to take a quick break here, but don't go anywhere. Everything will be right back after this minute. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. CUC up 3, 22-19 on this first set. Productive timeout right there for Coach Manos, and the Cougars is 2 points away now from that first set victory. It's going to be J.R. Stella serve things away for the Cougars. Mosher sets up Hollaback. Good swing right there. Kazalik unable to get under that one. Stella with an opportunity to send him packing in set one. We'll see how much juice he wants to put on this one. Good topper right there. Setting up Geisman. Sent right back at him. And Bowlers just pushes that one over. Gato will set up Hollaback. Hollaback goes for the tip. Pancake attempt by Kazalik, unable to get there. And CUC will claim that first set. 25-19 is your final score for that one. We kind of mentioned a little bit of it during that first timeout that Mount Union took, but overall, what did you kind of see in this first set, and what do you think that both teams need to work on?
Yeah, you know, we looked at, if we look at the first set, the Cougars hit 286 and the Purple Raiders hit 071. And frankly, it was still kind of a close set. So, you know, the Cougars really just need to work on, as I said it earlier, just getting the serves into play, giving themselves a chance to play out a lot of these points. And then on the other side, the Purple Raiders need to work on setting up some good swings and give themselves a chance to score more points.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll see if either teams are able to make those adjustments. We got 2:20 left between these sets. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. CUC winning that first set 25-19. Both teams looking fresh, ready to get after the second set. Important note, Luke Pemberton, Mount Union's leader in kills, didn't play that first set. I believe that was a coach's decision. He looks ready to go, though, for this one. You saw him getting a little bit of extra reps going. 107 kills on the year. No small feat by any stretch. Mount Union will be ready to serve things away, as it will be Geisman of the Purple Raiders. So we'll see how big of a difference Luke Pemberton will take, or he'll make, for this set. Mosher setting up Stella. That one's tipped up. Good swing right there by Dixon. Sets up Armstrong. Kozalik unable to get to it.
Really good swing right there from Armstrong from the back row.
Good swing by Ford. Stella able to pick up on that errant receive. Good serve by Ford again. A lot of power on that one from Lippert. Hollowbeck goes for a little tip play. Mosher setting up Stella. Beautiful swing right there, dotted on that same side. CUC taking strong 3-0 lead.
Perfect swing right there by Stella. Grabbed just a little piece of that line.
That's all you need. And Ford sends that one into the net, settling that 3-0 run. Dixon up and over. Good attack right there by Mosher. Hadn't seen that one the entire first set, but he breaks it out here. Get the Cougs the ball back. CUC looks to be continuing on those service error woes from first set. In that first set, they had 6 of them. Now the tally's up to 8 on the day. 2 and just that many last serves, excuse me. Hollowbeck unable to get that one up and over. Mosher setting up Stella. Another strong swing by Stella Hansen. Couldn't really do anything with that one. Just went right through the blockers. And there's Pemberton's first swing of the day. Armstrong sending it right back over. Good attempt right there. Mosher puts that one right in no man's land. Good swing by Bowler. Hollowbeck's there for it. Mosher setting up nobody. Gato's just gonna have to punch that one over. Pemberton goes for the tip. Gato will have to set up Hollowbeck. Another strong swing. Pemberton, a little bit too much juice there. CUC will take it. Bowler setting up Pemberton. That'll be his first kill of the day.
Yeah, Pemberton was first right there. Look, I would assume that they're going to look to get back to him a few more times throughout this set.
Yeah, you have to assume that could have led to some of those struggles they had in that first set, as they didn't really have a true rock to rely on. As there's another kill for Armstrong. He's having himself a strong day so far. That's his 4th kill. Gazowski a little bit too much. That one's into the net. Mosher to Ford. Good dig by Bowler. They're going to get Pemberton on a back row attack. Just a little too excited there. That'll cost him a point. A little bit behind Geisman, but he's able to make it work. Ford getting up there again. Unable to execute it, though. So an errant receive. Had Ford for an opportunity, but unable to cash in. CUC still up 8-6. It'll be Justin Peters for Mount Union. Cardenas over to Mosher. Mosher trying to set up Armstrong, but another one with just a little bit too much gas. Elliot, I feel like right now it just seems like everyone's going through the motions, not too much going at it. There's not a whole lot going on. Kind of one of those things we mentioned. As there's Pemberton with a strong swing. There's not too much going on. Feels like they're kind of just going through the motions. Like I said, what do you think? Do you think I'm a little overreacting, or are you seeing something similar?
No, I think the Cougars are definitely a little bit in a lull right now. We tend to see the Cougars be quite emotional during their games, you know, getting hype after all their points that they win. And right now we're just not really seeing much of anything from either team. So
yeah, it makes you wonder if they're kind of just following with what Mount Union's play style is, or there's something else, a little change in the ideas.
Yeah.
So that one's for Lippert, just out of play. Unable to top spin that one down in there. Kozalik setting up Lippert. Kozalik setting up Geisman there. Good effort by the Cougars to get it back over. There's Lippert, might have been out of bounds, but they're gonna play it. Hollaback, good swing, but it's denied. Hollaback just gonna have to set it over. There's Geisman with a tip. Gato over to Mosher. They're gonna send it to Armstrong because they like diving all over the place. They're gonna get a whistle. They're gonna tag CUC in the net there. I think that might have been our longest run of the day so far. Unfortunate, it had to be blown dead by a net violation rather than.
Definitely a really good rally right there. Both teams are kind of all over the place, so maybe the energy's starting to pick up a little bit.
So they're gonna get the same thing from Mount Union. They got somebody in the net. Stella might have gotten that kill either way, but no matter. They'll take the point either way. Alex Ford. Kozalik making a good play on that. Ford unable to get up there. Pemberton will add another kill to his tally. Dixon up and over. Mosher setting up Gazowski. CUC thought for sure they had a touch right there. Not going to get that one, though, as that one's out of play, and now things are knotted up at 11 here. First tie since 0-0. Mosher running up and getting a big swing. Cougar bench loving that one. You don't see that too often for number 11. He's getting in on the kills action. Now he's going to be serving things away for the Cougars.
Yeah, setter running up and taking his swing. You don't see that too much out of Mosher, and maybe that's the end. Maybe that's a little momentum swing the Cougars needed, because that got the bench really hype. Everybody on the court was just a little bit shocked on that swing, and looks like they might take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely not something Mount Union had on the scouting report. Good swing right there by Hollaback. Stella dotting that spot. Nothing Geisman can do about it.
Yeah, Cougar bench starting to get into it. Energy's definitely picking up. Excited to see what the Cougars are going to do here.
Setting up Pemberton. Gato able to recover. Mosher setting up Gadzowski. Back to Pemberton. That one just off the blockers and out of play.
I believe we have a yellow yellow card assessed to the head coach of the Purple Raiders.
Officials making sure they got everything in order. Michael Cardenas checking in for J.R. Stella. Floor judge gives the okay, and Pemberton will serve it away. Up and over. Good swing by Armstrong, and he's fired up. Wow! I mean, he's jumping out of the gym. It looked like his head almost scraped the ceiling on that one.
Yeah, Seth put him quite close to the net. He had to get up to get that one, and that he did.
Gadzowski serves that one out of play. Will be Cougars' 5th service error of the set, 11th on the day. Bowler sends that one over to Armstrong. Mosher setting up forward. Hanson only to get one hand on it, and it goes out of play. Good attack by Pemberton. Mosher setting up Hollaback.
Looks like the Cougars are really starting to feel themselves. Everything's starting to flow right now.
Absolutely. Just getting a little bit more into it, a little more excited. Hollaback pushes that one just a little too far out of play. I think another important note, we kind of brought up Mount Union's schedule earlier before the game started, but I think the main thing too is with them playing so many NAC teams, is that one's put into the net by Peters. You kind of see CUC's able to start matching themselves up after today amongst those teams as well, because all those matches were decided in 3 sets. But Mount Union able to pick up that winning 3-0 winning in St. Nora, but then they were also swept by MSOE and Aurora. As that one's right on the edge for Armstrong. Wow.
Yeah, Mount Union got a little bit of a change-up right there. They were expecting it to have a little more power on it. That expected it to go out, and that thing just fell right into the back left corner.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a miss swing, but it gets him a point. And they're going to get Pemberton on a touch there. Just narrowly grabbed a piece of the jersey.
Yeah, Armstrong really sped that one up, and Pemberton was not expecting it, and he caught a piece of him right before it was going to go out.
Yeah, absolutely. CUC commanding a 20-15 lead. We're going to take a break as they do. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. So Armstrong sends that one away. CUC holding a 20-15 lead right now. So they're going to get CUC in the net right there. Make it 20-16. CUC did win that first set, 25-19. Looking to do something similar here. We'll see if the Purple Raiders have anything to say about it, as it's going to be Geisman serving it away. Mosher setting up forward. That one's just on the edge right there. Bring the lead back up to 5. Will be Ford. Setting up Pemberton. And that one's blocked. Nobody home to help recover. Setting up Pemberton, and that one's denied, but they're able to recover on it. Gudzofsky was blocked. Thought they had the angle right there. Thought that one went back out of bounds, but the official saw something else. So that'll give it back to Mount Union. Dixon. Little awkward right there, but Gudzofsky able to recover. Stella sending it right into the blockers. Mosher setting up Armstrong. It's another one of those situations where the Purple Raiders seem out of place, unable to do anything about it.
Yeah, Armstrong with another kill right there brings his tally to 6 on the day now. Kind of looking at a breakout game for him here. You know, he's only played 9 sets this season. He's got 13 kills on the season. He has 3 service aces on the season, and he's already come in here today with 6 kills, 1 service ace, and 5 digs. You know, really breaking out, having a really good game right now.
Yeah, really trying to earn his keep on this strong CUC team that's riding the highs right now with that 3-0 win streak we talked about coming into today.
No, it's really hard to break into a lineup where everybody from past years are back, and so every opportunity you get on the court.
There's a big block right there. Stella and Gudzofsky timing things up.
Yeah, every opportunity you get on the court, you got to make the most of it, and he is doing that right now.
Absolutely. Stella looking to finish things off here in set number 2. Little too excited right there. That'll allow Mount Union to get to 20. Luke Pemberton gonna have to go on a run if Mount Union wants an opportunity. Gudzofsky denied. Hollaback, big swing, and it's in there to win set number 2. So CUC wins set 1, 25-19. Practically the same thing as they win this one, 25-20. They're gonna have a brief exchange, 3 minutes. We'll do the same, don't go anywhere. We'll be back for set number 3 in just a bit. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Cougars of Concordia, Chicago looking to make it a clean sweep today as they won for the first set 25-19 and just won the second set 25-20. A couple changes being made, though, for Mount Union as they made an adjustment at libero. It's going to be Parker Hansen at libero, and then the former libero shifting over to setter. So it will be Peyton Kasalik as being in charge of setting responsibilities for this third set. So there he is right there. Sam Morrison picks up the kill. So the adjustment already paying off as they're currently undefeated on points with that tandem going. Gato sets up, puts up Mosher. Stella denied. Mosher over to Armstrong. Kozalik over to Pemberton. They're going to get CUC on a touch there. Mount Union already showing more emotion in this third set than they have in the prior two sets. Obviously a very small sample size. As that's a service error right there for Morrison. That'll bring Alex Ford to the back line. Kozalik setting up. Stella. Gudzowski denied at the net right there by Dixon.
Yeah, as you said, Dave, the Purple Raiders are definitely showing a little bit more energy this set. I assume their coach probably got into them a little bit, told them, hey, we don't have time to go. We don't have time to waste anymore. You know, we're down 2-0, and we got to find a way to claw back.
Yeah, absolutely. As Dixon misplayed that one, and that'll send Mosher to the service line. Up. And just out of play. Lippert will check out. Incoming Beckham Heller. Miscommunication right there between Gato and Armstrong. Heller will take the ace. Good swing by Stella. Nothing Hansen can do about that one. Kozalik setting up Pemberton. Cougars are unable to do anything at the net on that one. Got to put Mount Union up 3. Pemberton serves over to Cardenas. Mosher setting up Armstrong. Armstrong goes for a tip. Cardenas, beautiful. Hollaback, too much juice right there. What do you think's been the main adjustment? I know we talked about Mount Union showing a little bit more motion. Do you think it's anything more than that, or do you think that's really all it takes to gain momentum?
I think it's a little bit of that, and then a little bit of the change at libero and setter. You know, they've been passing the ball quite well this set, and they've been able to really set up some good swings, which is what we kind of saw them lacking a little bit in the first two sets.
Gudzowski. Setting up Bowler. Cardenas over to Hollaback. Hollaback just touching it over. Hansen to Kozalik. Bowler puts that one up. And Mosher will just have to push it over. Kozalik trying to go for an attack right there. Armstrong using the blockers. Bowler having a little discussing his disagreement with that official right there. Earlier in the possession, he thought there was a 4-touch on the one that they were able to keep up during one of his swings. They play on. Kozalik setting up Morrison. Morrison's denied. CUC able to cut it to a 1-point deficit. Still in favor of Mount Union, 6-7. Armstrong getting a little too excited right there. Reaching over there, getting in the way of Kozalik.
Just about took the ball out of the setter's hands there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the downsides of having that kind of vertical is sometimes you just get a little too up there. Hollaback's denied right there by Morrison.
It's another thing that we've kind of seen in this set. They've been getting a good block up, and we didn't see, especially in like the first set, we didn't see them getting blocks up all too often.
Ford denied on that one. Armstrong. Kozalik setting up Morrison. Cardenas down there. Mosher over to Hollaback. Hollaback, big swing. Smart play by Armstrong, letting that one go out of play. That one came all the way across the court.
Yeah, not only have we seen the talent of Armstrong show off today, but right there we saw the IQ. You know, it was very close ball, and he was able to leave it and get the point out of it.
Absolutely. Morrison, another strong swing right there. And they win that race to 10. Mount Union now up 10-7. Ford going for a little slide right there. Morrison's just going to have to pass it over. Another one. This time Mountain Union's not ready for it. That one gets Hanson down below the ankles.
Yeah, that's a play the Cougars really love to run on the forward. We've seen it a lot this season. They love running that little slide attack. And as we saw right there, they ran it twice in a row, and the second one ended up getting them a point.
Yeah, absolutely. Armstrong puts that one into the net. That'll bring CUC's tally to 16 service errors on the day amongst all three sets. Definitely a little bit better in this set comparatively to the last two, but still lacking a little bit of low-hanging fruit for CUC. Mosher goes for the attack, unable to get it, but they're able to recover. Hollaback pushes that one over.
Purple Raiders looking for a double on that send over.
Armstrong puts that one into the net. And that's going to be a red card issued to Mount Union's coach, Coach Matt Mihalik. And all he can do about it is just kind of smile. Now the officials discussing with the scores judge as far as what that should be. Elliot, for those unaware, kind of give the description, because you don't see it too often. What is the kind of, what happens for those that receive a red card for that coach?
Yeah, so the head coach received a red card, which results in the loss of point, basically a side out for the Cougars. And so the Cougars just received the point and the serve. Coach Mihalik's still talking to the refs, trying to argue his way out of it. Yeah,
and then on top of that, in the event that it kind of continues and the refs aren't able to let it go, then they're able to kind of push him away from the bench for the rest of the match if they deem that necessary.
Looking to get everything sorted out here still. I believe they're going to stick with the decision of the red card and give the Cougars the serve and the point.
Refs give the all clear. Alex Ford will now send it away. Up and over. Good swing by Pemberton. Armstrong doing everything he can, but unable to track it down.
Yeah, Armstrong was going to get there, but unfortunately the bench was in his way. He had to slow up or else he was going to lose an ankle.
Yeah, or a knee.
Yeah.
Last thing you need is one of those bruises on the shin that last about a month and a half. Mount Union picks up the point right there. Coach Manos of CUC wants a timeout with his team, facing their largest deficit of the day, down 5. They're going to take a break. We're going to do the same. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Kudzowski able to keep that one alive. Stella pushes that one over. And they're able to claim the point. Mount Union seems certain that it hit the pin on Stella's swing, but if it did, it went unnoticed.
Yeah, the Purple Raiders kind of stopped playing right there. They kind of expected the play to be called dead, and it was not, which resulted in a point for the Cougars.
Yeah, absolutely. Grayson Arnn checking in for just his 6th set of the season. Looking to make a difference. Just unfortunately adding to the service error woes CUC's been dealing with.
Cougars falling into a little bit of a lull right here. They're not really bringing the same energy that they brought in the second set. You know, we really saw the momentum swings, and now the Purple Raiders are kind of using that to their own advantage with the momentum swings.
Yeah, absolutely. This is kind of what separates some of those teams, is just their ability to close out matches. When you're up 2-0, sometimes you just got to be able to bury the team. And right now, CUC's kind of struggling with that as they're down 5 now. This game keeps going. They're going to keep running out of opportunities. No better time to go on a run, though, with J.R. Stella at the helm. Beautiful swing from Pemberton. That one's put right on the line. Mosher setting up Hollaback, and that one's denied. Morrison showing off the emotion right there as he gets another block.
Yeah, we've kind of seen Morrison on those solo blocks a little bit today. He's getting it up and keeping it strong.
A little bit of contact right there. They're going to claim Armstrong was in the way right there. Kasalek trying to make a play on the ball. I think the main issue with Coach Manos, his grievance is that Kasalek ran underneath the net as opposed to running around. So he's kind of running into Armstrong's natural plane. Coach Manis is going to burn his final timeout of the set with his team down 19-11. So we've kind of seen a lot going on in this set, from red cards to interference calls. Elliot, what does CUC need to do to get back on track? Because right now it kind of looks like they're not really playing their game so far. Obviously, we saw how they played in the first two sets. What has been the main shift, and what's it going to take for them to get back on track?
Yeah, I think we kind of need to just look. I think they just need to look to get those swings off that they were getting in the first and second set. I think what we have kind of seen them get away a little bit from the middles. I'd like to see them get the middles a little bit more involved again, because when they were really spreading out that Mountain Union defense, they were able to score from all different positions. I think if they go back to that kind of attack style, then they'll be able to claw back here.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at it in a little different manner. Instead of thinking about the on-the-court features, I'm going to look at it from the mental side. Right now, it just seems like they're kind of struggling in the mind games department right now. Everything that Mountain Union's doing, it just seems as though CUC right now is spectating. They're kind of looking around saying what just happened rather than making things happen. So I think even though they're down 8 in this set, it'd be an extreme uphill battle for this one. You got to find a way to gather some momentum in this one. If you're not able to win the third set and win that sweep, find a way to get it back in that fourth set. Send them home packing. Armstrong pushes that one over to Hollaback. Gato setting up Hollaback. That one's sent back. They're going to say that one wasn't blocked by Bowler. It was just sent to the net, so that's 4 touches for CUC. The official calls over for both captains. Bowler tried to get himself in the mix, but was quickly shooed away. So Mosher and Kazela kind of discussing the matter at hand. While they're doing this, we'll take a quick look at what CUC's got coming up on their schedule. At 4 o'clock, they're going to take on Wabash in a continuation of that NAC MCVL matchup. Elliot, unfortunately, will not be on the call. I'll be alongside Jonathan Shear. We'll be able to bring all that later on today. Right now, CUC chasing 9 in this third set. Pemberton picks up the ace. Cardenas misplays that one. It ricochets off the scoreboard. A lot of juice on that one. Now Mountain Union with a 10-point lead right now, looking to close things out in dominant fashion. Armstrong, big swing right there, adding to his day.
Yeah. Even if the Cougars aren't able to call all the way back in the set, you can really use the end of the set to gain that momentum back that you've lost throughout the set.
Absolutely. There's a good serve from Gudzowski. Bowler punches that one over. Mosher setting up Armstrong again, using that blocker to his advantage right there. Kuzalik had the arms up, and
great tool right there by Armstrong to grab a point for the Cougars.
Absolutely. Another good serve from Gudzowski. Kozalik setting up Morrison, and that one's denied by Armstrong and Ford. CUC on a little bit of a run right here. Kind of, as we mentioned, gathering that momentum, find a way. Gudzowski, another good serve right there. Make that a 4-0 run for the Cougs. Gudzowski looking to keep things rolling. That one just off the top of the net. Unable to get it. Bowler touches that one over. Mosher setting up Ford. Bowler bodies that one up. Ford does it again. Another big swing. Heller unable to get anything really under that one.
Two really good swings by Ford right there. The Purple Rays were able to get the first one up, but they were not able to keep the second one up.
Yeah, those are some powerful swings. It's going to be very difficult. As Morrison showing out everything. He's got in the tool bag. You've seen some powerful swings out of him today. Showing a little bit more touch as well. As they add back to that lead. 2 points to go to win this third set. Good serve from Kozalik. Armstrong unable to traject that one down. Set point here for Mount Union. Looking to claim it. Moser setting up forward. Kozalik hits the floor. Good swing by Morrison, and that's all. That's all she wrote here in this third set. So a huge shift overall from how we saw those first two sets to this one. Elliot, what's the main thing that CUC is going to have to change right now if they want to end things in 4?
Yeah, they're just going to have to grab the momentum. We talk about it so much because it's just such an important part of all sports, really. And we saw it right there. You know, Mountain Union grabbed a few points at the beginning of the set, got the momentum, and ended up winning the set 25-16 after losing the first two in not like super close fashion. So, you know, the Cougars need to look to grab that momentum back and finish here in the fourth set, because you don't want to let it get to a fifth set where anything can happen.
Absolutely. Well, they're taking a little bit of a break. We'll do the same. We'll be back in just 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Back to the Cougar Sports Network. CUC up 2-1, but Mount Union won that third set, so they got the momentum at the moment as Morrison sends that one out of play. Some of the main adjustments that were made in set 3 that I believe contributed a great deal was shifting Mount Union's captain, Peyton Kozlowski, to setter, and then in turn putting Parker Hansen to the libero. So there's a good swing from Pemberton. Armstrong's able to recover. Stella gets that one sent right back at him, almost catches it. Dixon will be the man retreating to the line. Mosher sets up Stella. Nobody able to receive that one.
Yeah, Stella got over the block right there. Nothing you can really do right there when you get over the block and the ball's coming at you that fast, especially with a swing from Stella, who has a great arm.
Absolutely. And another thing to note, when Mosher has the opportunity to kind of put the ball wherever he wants to whomever, as Bowler sends that one out of play. Mosher's so good with being able to spread the wealth, get all his hitters involved, and I think that's what has added CUC's success today and throughout this season. So when he's able to do that, it makes it so much more difficult for the defenses. Sets up Pemberton. Good dig by Gato. Stella thought for sure that one was out of play, but line judge tags that one in. Heller will check in for the serve. Out goes Lippert. Mosher setting up Stella, and that one's out of play. Up and over. Mosher setting up Hollaback. This time it's out of play. CUC cracks that tie. They'll go up 4-3. Really want to see CUC jump out early in this one. Kind of squish the life out of Mount Union. Last thing you want is that hope to turn into a reality. Pemberton gets just underneath that one right there and pushes it out of bounds. Errant receive, but when Armstrong goes up there, Gazalek's able to deny it with one hand.
Yeah, I mean, that was an insane block right there. He was not even facing. He was going up for a set and just kind of stuck a hand up there and somehow found a way to knock it down on their side of the court.
If you told me in set 1, the guy playing libero for Mount Union is actually going to be blocking in set 4 with one hand, I would be utterly shocked. There's a good swing right there by Armstrong, but it's beautiful pancake. Morrison unable to keep that one in play, so CUC is able to scoop that point. Morrison just throws that one out of play.
Tried to tool the block right there, but they were able to get their hands out of the way and let it just fly out of bounds.
Mosher setting up Hollaback right into the blockers. Morrison picks up another block.
Since that first set, we've really seen the Purple Raiders getting a good block up to Hollebeck, because Hollebeck was kind of owning them in the first set, and since then he's gotten blocked quite a few times.
Absolutely. Hollebeck right now with 11 kills on the day. 8 airs as well, though, to go along with a 111 hit percent. That one's out of play, and CUC will take advantage there. So a handful of mistakes so far from Mount Union, and that is aiding in CUC's 9-5 lead they have in this set 4. Heller hits the deck right there. Morrison dots up that edge right there. And that one's out of play. Stella checks back in for Cardenas. Armstrong up and over. Just narrowly not scraping the ceiling right there, but they're able to put it back over. Pemberton puts that one right into the net. Armstrong looking to keep things going here. That one's off the top of the net. Mosher setting up Stella. Stella goes for a little touch play. Morrison's just going to have to send a free ball over. Armstrong narrowly gets it over. He lets out a big sigh right there.
Almost followed his swing into the net as well. He stopped on a dime right in front of the net. He was quite close there.
Is that one just off the top of the net and over? Alex Ford puts that one right into the net. Justin Dixon looking to cut into this 5-point lead CUC's holding on to right now. Mosher sets up Hollebeck. Hollebeck, beautiful swing right there. Does such a good job tunneling the difference between his full swings and the tips. That's what makes it so difficult on some of those, especially on that back row attack effort. Good swing right there by Bowler. Gato cut a little bit flat-footed on that one. Mosher will check back in. It'll be Heller to the back line for the Mount Union. Heller really carving out a role in these last few sets. Finding himself in that back row. So they're going to get a touch right there on Purple Raiders, and CUC will claim that point. Pemberton blocked at the net. Setting up Pemberton again, this time successful. swing by Armstrong. He's fired up. Armstrong able to create such quality angles on his swings with the vertical he's got. Makes it so difficult, not only for the blockers, but for all defenders on those wings. Mosher setting up Armstrong again. Bowler able to get down there for it. Mosher and Hollaback thought for sure that one landed down the line. Kozelik really earned his keep at that front net. Another big swing from Armstrong. I think that might be the first point I've seen Kozelik lose at the net so far. Purple Raiders take a timeout, down 5, 17-12. We're going to do the same. We'll be back in just a minute. You can catch it all on the CUC Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Tyler Hollaback sends that one away. Armstrong with a battle at the net. Mosher sets up Hollaback. Couple touches right there. Beautiful sliding effort. Ford calling for it. Unable to catch in though. That was a beautiful play by Kozelik right there. Making a sliding effort amongst the bleachers. Aiding and winning that point right there. Setting up Armstrong. Armstrong unable to toss that one amongst the blockers. And Coach Manos is going to now take his first timeout of the match. You can tell he's visibly frustrated. His team's now only up 3, 17-14. Elliot, right now we're kind of seeing both teams fighting for those last few points right now as Mount Union obviously aware that this could be what sends them home packing. Mm-hmm. What do you think right now is the key separator and who's going to win this set right here?
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to can you get the serve in play, and then for CUC, just continuing to get the good swings they've got off. You know, they've been really good at just running their plays and getting their swings off. So if they can continue to do that, then they'll be in a good spot. And then on the other side, for Mount Union, they need to look to get those scrappy points. We've seen it a lot today, especially like as you said in that last set, the sliding play right in front of the bleachers to save the point. You know, things like that to kind of keep points alive and give themselves extra chances at scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. I see this set as what I'd like to call a swing set, where basically CUC's up 2-1. The set is so important for both teams. For CUC, it ends the day. For them, It would mark a strong win, but on the other side for Mount Union, if they win it, they knotted things back up, and now they've won 2 sets in a row, and they have all the momentum going into that 5th set. So we'll see kind of how these final points play out. Armstrong swinging. Hollaback trying to set up Armstrong. Pemberton passes it right up. Good swing by Morrison. Cardenas sends that one just over. A little errant receive. That one's denied. Smooth footwork by Morrison to get out of the way of that one. It's another good rally right there for the Purple Raiders. They continue to cut into this lead now on a 3-0 run. Mosher trying to set up Ford. Ford misses that one, but it's good enough for the point.
Yeah, just able to get a hand on that set and able to find the spot, send it over, find a spot, and get a much-needed point for the Cougars.
Yeah, absolutely. No matter how they got it, you just had to find a way to stop the bleeding right there, kind of maintain that lead that they had been controlling for a little bit now. There's an errant receive right there. Stella able to cash in, bring that lead up to 4. I think for right now, for the Cougars, the most important thing right now is making sure you're keeping the balls in play. The last thing you need when it's tight at the end of the game is any kind of service errors. It's because they like trying to set up Morrison. Beautiful swing right there by Hollaback. Right into Dixon and Lippert. So they'll win that race to 20. Mountain Union's going to take a timeout now.
Yeah, we've kind of seen Armstrong do it all today. You know, he's got 9 digs, 12 kills with only 4 errors on 31 attacks. He's got 2 service aces, and right there he had a nice assist. Really good set to Hollaback in the back row that led to a point. So, you know, for a guy who hasn't played a whole lot this season, we're really just seeing his confidence grow in the court right now. He's kind of been that spark plug for them today, bringing the energy, and it's led to some really good outcomes for the Cougars.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the Cougars, you kind of take a look ahead at that schedule. We mentioned they got Wabash coming on later today in that NAC MCVL Challenge. But they still have a handful more games before they get into conference play. So with Coach Manos still trying to figure out who his guys are that he wants on the court, this is kind of another one of those spots for Armstrong to really kind of showcase what he's got. So we'll see how Coach Manos wants to play things later today as well. If they're able to come out with the win today in this match against Mountain Union. Armstrong making a very strong case to showcase why he maybe deserves to be in that lineup. Again, as we mentioned, they brought back so much talent. CUC is able to kind of push the buttons of whoever they want. But right now, they got to focus on winning this 4th set. It's going to be Armstrong sending it away. As I mentioned earlier, that's one of those that you don't want to happen right there. So productive timeout for Mount Union. So get a free point out of that timeout. Now Morrison's going to be the guy trying to carve deeper into this lead, try and get things closer back to normal. Mosher setting up Stella. Big swing by Stella. Just wide open.
Yeah, it's also a very important set for the Purple Raiders because they have another match today. They want to bring all that momentum into their next match where they take the little ride down Division Street over to another NAC school in Dominican.
Stella goes to the swing, but nothing there. Hollaback, beautiful touch right there. Kozlowski kind of crawling on the ground, trying to get out of the way. And CUC able to claim that point. Kozlowski having a discussion with the official. Yeah, for those of you unaware as far as the distance traveled between those NAC opponents on Division Street, Dominican and CUC, looking at less than a mile away on that same road, so not too bad of a commute for Mount Union. It's Morrison unable to receive that one. Now CUC kind of smelling that victory in this one as they're up 23-16, just 2 to go. Ford, good serve. Can't seem to recover. And a strong swing right there by Dixon. Dixon sends it over. Hollaback going for a swing. Kozalik setting up. Armstrong unable to get to that one, and now making things a little interesting here with the lead cut down to 5. Mosher setting up Kozovsky. Gonna send it all the way over to Stella, and that one's denied. Bowler and Lippert on that one. Really good slides right there. Mount Union's blockers have had a pretty productive day as far as holding the middles to their own, but on those ones they've struggled, and that one they were able to keep Stella bottled up. Now they're on a little bit of a run. Coach Manos is going to take his timeout. Not liking what he's seen so far. CUC only up 3 now as they take a timeout. We're going to take a quick break as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Set 4 is a good one so far. CUC up 23-20. Is Mosher trying to win that one there? Because they look over to Pemberton. And that one's in play. So now the lead down to just 2. Was as much as 23-16. Good swing by Stella. CUC finally able to stop the bleeding right there. CUC up 24-21. It's going to be Grayson Arn trying to send the fans home happy in the first match of the day. Just a bullet. Unable to do so.
I think right there we got a little bit of the freshman getting very excited, trying to end the match, and just put a little bit too much juice on it.
Absolutely. So now Heller will be the guy. They're going to say that one wasn't blocked, so Godzowski just sent that one into the net. And now, 24-23, all of a sudden, anything's possible here for Mount Union. Beautiful swing right there by Hollaback. And that'll cap off a successful game 1 for the Cougars.
Yeah, right there we saw it. Nobody you'd rather go to right there with the game on the line than Tyler Hollaback. We've seen it time and time again. When the pressure's on, he stays calm and gets it done.
Absolutely. Do a little recap as far as what we saw. Obviously, CUC dominant in that first and second set. Wavered a little bit in set 3, and then set 4 they were able to come back. A little bit different look for the Cougars, though, as far as the emotions. They were kind of pretty even keel the whole way, not flashing too much. They were trying to not ride the highs too much or the lows, and I think that worked out for them today. Going over some of those leaders today, looking at that kills department, Hollaback had 15, but closely trailing for CUC was J.R. Stella with 13, and Tyrese Armstrong having himself a day with 12. Main kill leader for Mount Union was Luke Pemberton. Even though he did not play set 1, he finished with 11. Going over to those digs, we mentioned Peyton Kusalik. He switched over to the setting duties, but he still led the day on both sides with 15. Eli Mosher also with 13. CUC's libero Van Gato down at 10. Then looking at the assists, Eli Mosher, as mentioned, had 43 on the day. Mount Union had a little bit of a different story, kind of changing up the setters throughout the day. But Peyton Kasalek had the most for them with 15. Then looking at those blocks, Michael Bowler with 4, Eli Mosher as well with 4. Pretty strong day overall for CUC, Elliot. Kind of final remarks, what did you see out of the CUC team?
Yeah, I mean, we saw the CUC kind of dominate on the offensive side of the ball. The CUC hit 197 compared to Mount Union's 093. Throughout the whole match, they were kind of just getting the swings off that they liked, running their plays to a T. We saw a lot of really good back row attacks from CUC today. And at the end of the day, they just took care of business.
Absolutely. Pretty strong, productive day for CUC as they were kind of very comfortable throughout the whole thing. They're going to be playing later today at 4 o'clock, though. A little over 2 hours away from that game time against Wabash College here in Geisman. A little different story for Mount Union. As we mentioned, they're going to be taking a trip down the road over to play Dominican, another NAC school for them. That'll be their add to those list of NAC teams they've been playing throughout the season. That'll be their 5th NAC school this year. Productive day for CUC, as mentioned. Hopefully it continues later on today. That's all we got here today in this Game 1. For any more information on CUC men's volleyball, head over to cucougars.com. Thank you for joining me, Elliot. I'm Dave Dimeling signing off. As always, roll Cougs.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.
Welcome back, Cougar fans. I'm accompanied by the setter of CUC, Eli Mosher. How's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. You guys just locked up another big non-conference win, making that a 4-game win streak, riding the highs. How's it feel just today and then overall on this streak you guys got going?
It feels really good. I know that throughout my seasons here, we've been somewhat of a streaky team, you'd say. Like my freshman year, we had like a 10-game one. Last year, we ended up making a 7-game win streak to get in the conference. So I'm glad we're starting it early, you know, rather than later.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, you guys looked fantastic for most of today. You guys had those first 2 sets. You guys came out firing. They made some adjustments with their setter and libero in set 3, and then you guys came back in set 4. What was the kind of key to you guys jumping out of the gates hot to start today?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of our training, really, is that we make sure that starting the game, we try to be as even keel as possible. I know you hear us, like, getting loud and stuff, but a big part of that is being composed throughout the game. So that's what we're doing really well the first 2 sets. We got a little rattled the third, you know, so it was good that we were able to bounce back the fourth and be, again, more calm, but still, like, celebrate when we're up, you know?
Absolutely. You guys kind of mentioned that. That was one thing that Elliot and I noticed during the game was in years past and earlier this year we've kind of seen you guys as an extremely boisterous, booming kind of team. Obviously, the emotions are still there, but you guys kind of mentioned it. You mentioned it yourself. You guys are able to stay pretty level throughout. Is that something Coach Manos has been kind of preaching to you guys throughout, or is that more so from the players?
Yeah, this whole year we've been focusing on maturity. That's the big thing is, like, yes, we have the big louds, like big booms, as you say, but most importantly, volleyball is going to go back and forth. That's just the nature of the game.
Absolutely.
So if you're just riding up and down, like, it's going to be a really chaotic game. So this year more than ever, we're really trying to be more focused on, like, hey, next ball, or like, hey, that play happened, but like we can't linger on that. Like
Absolutely.
even if we just like had the best set ever, like there's still 2 more, you know? So that's been at the forefront of our minds in our training. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to ask you too as well. How was that feeling getting up in the net a little bit, getting a kill today?
It just lined up pretty well. You know, they left the net open. I started from way back when. I don't normally get that sort of approach standing at the net all day, but hey, that's what happens when you play defense, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Now flipping the page a little bit, you guys kind of mentioned those short memories, kind of flushing it. You got Wabash coming up in just a couple hours. What's kind of the in-between for you guys? What's the approach for them as well?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously we have a different game plan, right? So it's switching, like, hey, like we just played Mount Union. They're a more consistent team. We're about to play a team that's a little more fiery. So we're going to have to shift our approach, right? And it's to dissect the two, like, it's no longer Mount Union, the same stuff we did. I mean, yeah, sure, it might work, some of the stuff, but obviously we have to do something a little bit different, right?
Absolutely. Well,
yeah.
Rest up in these couple hours you got in between. Come back ready to go, and I'm excited to see what you guys got. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Of course, yeah. For any more information on men's volleyball, head over to cucougars.com. I'm Dave Dimling signing off. As always, roll Cougs.
So much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.